Warning: some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. We have a shocking case from a small town in Arkansas involving a beauty queen, a long-term boyfriend, and a killer hiding in plain sight. Nona Dirksmeyer was born on December 26, 1985, and was raised in the town of Russellville, Arkansas. She was described as sweet, kind, and shy. Nona started dating Kevin Jones in high school, and ever since, the two have been inseparable. Nona also became involved in beauty pageants, using her platform to prevent violence against kids and volunteering with the Big Sisters organization. In 2004, Nona started college at Arkansas Tech University, majoring in music, and got her own apartment. Kevin attended the University of Arkansas, about 90 minutes away, but the couple maintained their relationship. On December 14, 2005, Kevin came home for Christmas break to visit Nona. Nona had finals to finish at school and then plans to meet with her little sister, so Kevin made plans to accompany his mother to a school holiday dinner. The next morning, Kevin received a text from Nona saying, "Good morning, Cuddle Muffin. I love you and hope you have a great day." Kevin expected to hear from Nona again after her exams were finished, but she never called. This was unusual, as the couple had been together for almost 5 years and Nona usually responded right away to Kevin's messages. Around 4 p.m., Kevin started trying to reach Nona through calls and text messages, asking if she was okay. At around 6 p.m., Kevin and his mother headed out to their Christmas party, but Kevin was increasingly worried about Nona. He contacted a friend who was delivering pizzas in the area and asked them to check on Nona at her apartment. When the friend arrived at the apartment, they found the door locked and no sign of Nona. Kevin asked a friend to go check on Nona and see if her car was outside. The friend reported that car was there, but Nona was not answering the door when he knocked. Alarmed by this, Kevin and Janice went to check on Nona themselves. They tried to open the front door, but it wouldn't budge. Since Kevin had forgotten his spare key at home, they went to the sliding glass door in the back, which Nona always kept locked with a burglar bar. However, the burglar bar was missing that night. Kevin forced open the sliding door and ran inside, noticing blood on the blinds. He found Nona lying face down in a pool of blood in the living room, wearing only a pair of white socks. Kevin hugged Nona's lifeless body, and authorities soon arrived at the apartment. When they arrived, detectives noted Nona had several stab wounds to her neck and shoulder, but those were not the cause of her death. She had also been severely beaten in the head, and a heavy lamp was found broken into 3 pieces next to her body, covered in blood. There was no sign of forced entry or sexual assault, but there was evidence that someone had tried to strangle and cut Nona's throat before beating her in the head. A condom wrapper was also found on the table next to the body, but the condom was missing. Some people believe that the police made mistakes in this case, such as not collecting all the blood samples and not looking for evidence upstairs or on the doors and blinds. However, the police quickly identified Kevin as the prime suspect, due to his emotional reaction, his use of his mother and friend as an alibi, and the fact that he was covered in Nona's blood when they arrived. Kevin was brought in for questioning and was checked for injuries, but none were found. Nona had defensive wounds, indicating she had fought her attacker, but her boyfriend, Kevin, had no such wounds. He never requested a lawyer and insisted on his innocence the entire time. Despite this, the police were still suspicious of Kevin and began to examine Nona's other lovers and anyone else in her circle who might have had contact with her. When all of these leads were ruled out, the investigation turned back to Kevin, who the police believed had a motive for killing Nona. Desperate to clear his name, Kevin went to the police station on the eve of Nona's funeral and agreed to take a polygraph test. However, the polygraph examiner declared that Kevin had failed miserably and told him, "There's no doubt in my mind that you killed her." Kevin ended up missing Nona's visitation due to the length of the questioning, which led some people, including Nona's parents, to believe he was guilty. Authorities announced that all potential suspects had been cleared except for Kevin, and they held a press conference to declare him the only suspect. Further testing showed Kevin's fingerprint and blood on a light bulb near Nona's body, and on March 31, 2006, he was arrested and charged with her murder. Kevin's legal team pointed out that a condom wrapper found at the scene had been tested for fingerprints but not DNA. DNA of an unknown male was found on the wrapper, but the jury could interpret this evidence in 2 ways. Either it belonged to a stranger or it was left by one of Nona's other lovers. The courtroom was tense as the prosecution and defense presented their arguments in the murder trial of Kevin. The prosecution claimed that Kevin had caught the victim, Nona, cheating and bludgeoned her to death in a fit of rage. However, Kevin's defense team argued that he had no recollection of touching the light bulb that was found at the scene and suggested that it may have been disturbed during the chaos of discovering Nona's body. The jury was initially divided, but after a day of deliberation, they returned with a shocking verdict, not guilty. As the trial came to a close, it seemed as though justice had eluded Nona and her family. But just when all hope seemed lost, a shocking twist emerged. In September 2007, a local man named Gary Dunn was arrested for burglary and was questioned by police as part of the initial investigation into Nona's murder. Dunn provided an alibi and was released without incident. However, upon further examination, detectives discovered that the date on the receipt he provided to account for his whereabouts did not align with the time frame of Nona's murder. Furthermore, Dunn had been living in the same apartment complex as Nona at the time of her death. With this new information, authorities decided to retest the condom wrapper that had been found at the scene. The results indicated that a partial DNA profile of Dunn's was present on the wrapper. Combined with his incomplete alibi, this was enough for police to arrest Dunn and charge him with Nona's murder. In April 2010, Dunn's trial began, with his ex-wife testifying that he was allegedly violent and obsessed with Nona. Tragically, the trial ended in a mistrial, and Dunn was set free.
30-year-old Gary Dunn is accused of the crime. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. Right inside the courthouse, jury selection is underway and the trial could begin shortly. It was in 2005 when Dirksmeyer's boyfriend, Kevin Jones, found her dead inside her Russellville apartment. Jones was originally tried for her murder but found not guilty 2 years later. DNA evidence led investigators to Dunn, whose trial begins today.
In 2011, Dunn was arrested again, this time for attempted kidnapping and indecent exposure.
Who's been in the national spotlight before is back behind bars tonight, accused of stalking several women in Russellville. What happened last night? The first at the First Baptist Church on South Denver Street, the second incident on the Arkansas Tech campus. Police quickly arrested Gary Dunn, who was tried twice but never convicted in the murder of Nona Dirksmeyer in 2005. Stephanie Sharp is following this story. She's live tonight in Russellville. And Stephanie, you spoke to one of his victims.
Dunn is sitting behind me in the Polk County Detention Center at this hour. He does have a history. He was convicted of battery back in 2002 for attacking a Russellville woman on a running trail. We were able to speak with her today about this latest arrest.
Over the head with it, knocked me off the trail, sat on top of me, beat me and beat me and beat me.
She doesn't want to show her face or use her name. She was able to escape that day. According to court documents, he was ordered to prison in 2003.
He got out early. He didn't serve his full sentence.
Years later, she was a character witness in the Nona Dirksmeyer case, in which Dunn was accused of murdering the 19-year-old. He was tried twice, but never convicted. Russellville Police Captain David Ewing says Tuesday evening, Dunn tried to kidnap a woman at the First Baptist Church parking lot, as well as spoke to a female student at Arkansas Tech's campus.
Both victims were shooken up. We're just glad they're both okay.
He's still sitting in jail tonight, and he has a $100,000 bond. Reporting live from Russellville.
He was sentenced to 15 years in prison for these crimes. While it seems that many people believe that Dunn is responsible for Nona's murder, there has yet to be any justice for her. Despite the terrible circumstances, this case serves as a reminder that good can triumph over evil and that the search for justice must never be abandoned.